Welcome into Just an Average Football Podcast, where every week is football week. NFL Draft 2026 is in the books. Wrapped up yesterday. We're doing this podcast on a Sunday evening. Boy, not gonna lie, the more I watch this draft class, and we're gonna kind of get into it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it was a really weak draft class.
It sticks to your teeth.
It sticks to your teeth. Oh my gosh, people are gonna be listening have no idea what we're talking about, but we've actually got a good show today for you guys, talking about the draft recap. Some things we liked, some things we didn't like, some best players picked, and then obviously, just a few things here and there we want to touch on as far as some of these players go, or also some of these players that didn't get drafted. Talk about them as well, but. I don't think we waste any time. What'd you think of the draft? I mean, I know you're not big into like the NFL draft stuff or like probably draft.
So
not a lot of people are.
This is the most I got into it because we had so many picks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So many picks, and I'm going to get into that, but I'm upset, man. I'm upset. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I still haven't digested the fact that what we did.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a few things, obviously, too, with the questions we're going to cover here. You're going to have a chance to talk about your Dolphins and what they did. But, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and hop into this draft because there's a lot of stuff that transpired here. What was your biggest surprise of the draft? Kind of just hopping right into it here. Biggest surprise of the draft. A lot of players.
I think to be completely honest with you, I think my biggest surprise in the draft is Caleb Downs not going top 5.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that for sure.
I was when we talked last week on this podcast when we did our mock draft.
You're pretty dead set on him. You didn't think he was gonna be there for you guys when he wasn't.
No, but I mean, I drafted him in our mock draft to come to us because I'm like, if he's there at 11,
yeah,
that's what you do. And I think that him not going, because there was really no signs of him not going that high. Like I don't understand it. I guess like his combine was okay, but he's.
He's like the best football player.
He's the best football player in the draft.
I mean, you got to think for
Jeremiah Love.
I thought him coming off the board because he ended up going to the Cowboys, correct?
Yeah.
And I thought the earliest he was going to come off the board was maybe 5 to the Giants. And then after that, I kind of thought he might have been going to the Commanders. Kept falling. I mean, he could have went to the Chiefs secondary, and then they ended up getting Monster Delane, great pick, best corner in the draft. But yeah, it was definitely a surprise, seeing him. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as surprised because I feel like you see safeties fall all the time. You had what was it, a few years, Kyle Hamilton fell a little bit. Derwin James famously fell to the Chargers. I don't know what pick they had. They might have had like 12 or 13, but I don't know. I feel like you see safeties fall quite a bit in drafts, and did not fall as far as McCoy, which we're going to get to here in a little bit as well. But my biggest one, maybe it's as crazy, was Garrett Nussmeier, the LSU quarterback, falling all the way to the 7th round. He was kind of in that same situation. I don't know if you keep up with college football a lot. He was in that same situation kind of as like Carson Beck, where like 2 years ago, these guys were like, projected first-round draft picks, or maybe it was last year, projected first-round draft picks. Went back to college, and now obviously Carson Beck goes before him, but both these guys fall out of the first 2 rounds, and don't get picked till the later rounds. But yeah, just the lack of, it wasn't even the lack of production. He just did not have a good year in 2025. I don't know if that scared teams away. I don't know if they think he's already kind of reached his ceiling.
Where did he end up?
He went to the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
He went to the Chiefs, yeah. He's sucked up by the Chiefs, and which is...
They want a backup,
it's a
right?
good
Because they don't have
situation.
one. Or who's their backup at the end of the year?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember his name because we played him. Mobile dude, can't think of his name though. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. If you're not a first round quarterback, it's anybody's guess on where you could go. Like I said though, a really good quarterback. I think at the scouting combine they found like a cyst on his spine, which is there's nothing to that though. I don't think there's anything to it. But yeah, stock dropped, fell to the 7th round. Maybe a good situation gets to learn from Patrick Mahomes, and he's a good trade candidate here in a couple of years because I don't think this is definitely not. I mean I think he's too good to be a backup. Like, I think he could actually go somewhere and be a really good. I'm surprised the Dolphins didn't take him or the Jets didn't take a flyer on him, but it is what it is. For a 7th-round pick, big surprise to me. I thought he was going to go way sooner than that. So that was mine. Biggest first-round shock to you? You kind of talked about Caleb Banks a little, Caleb Banks. Caleb Downs. Gosh, Downs. Caleb Downs a little bit being a shock, but any other shocks? And honestly, we just brought his name up, Jermod McCoy, falling all the way to the 4th round. And I had him going 1st round to the Cowboys with their first pick. So obviously his teammate goes before him, Colton Hood. I mean, I don't know. Are the injury concerns really that crazy?
I guess they have to be because, and like, I think that is like it is. It is crazy, but it's not really, I guess, because if you're planning for your future here, I get that like you kind of play with house money, I guess, a little bit with draft picks, and like you win some, you lose some. It's not really the end of the world. It's more of a cost to your franchise when you pay people and they don't pan out. Like Tua with the Dolphins, Kirk Cousins with the Falcons. I'm just throwing out players. Like I'm not specifically targeting quarterbacks, but
yeah,
I mean you pay like they paid Brandon Ayuk, and he didn't pan out. So with the 49ers, so it's like I guess draft picks really don't tickle my fancy too much. I guess when it comes to like them dropping. I guess just like big, massive names. Like when you talked about McCoy, and I kind of looked him up, and he was a stud. But if he's hurt, and you drop. I mean, all you gotta do is just prove yourself, and you're still gonna get paid if you're good later on down the road.
Same thing happened last year. It was Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan. I think he fell. I don't know what round he fell to, but he fell out of the 1st round. Projected to be, one of the top corners taken. I think he was actually projected to be one of the first 2 corners taken. Him and Jahdae Barron kind of right there. We ended up getting Jahdae, but I was really surprised. He fell, but then this year I think McCoy fell further than he did. But another 1st-round shock to me. I had Caleb. I have my notes up here. I had Caleb Downs, obviously, or Caleb Banks. My goodness, the whole entire podcast. I'm not going to Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle, going in the 1st round to the Vikings when I thought that Dylan Theinman was going to go to them. What? Like, I was extremely shocked to see Banks. The dude's had like 2 foot injuries within a year. There's no guarantee he's going to be even healthy to play. I don't know. If he's healthy, great. They maybe got a. I'm not even going to say a steal. They got a good, great, powerful defensive tackle, but I don't know. The fact that he went in the 1st round, you probably could have got him in the 2nd round. But I mean, if he's like we brought this up before, if he's your guy, take your guy, whatever. But yeah, and we've got some questions here later on in the 3rd segment. We're going to talk about a little bit as well, and I feel like his name's going to come up again. But yeah, that's mine. Did you have one you want to talk about? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe we're not talking about the elephant in the room here.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we not talking about Ty Simpson going 13?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I knew. See, that's why I didn't pick him because I knew you.
So I mean, I guess that the day of the draft, stuff leaked out, and some of these analysts knew what was going to happen.
And I hate that social media ruins the draft.
They never said anything off. But they never said anything until he got drafted, and they're like, "Yeah, we knew." Blah 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 blah. But man, I'm giving some. If Dan Orlovsky ever saw this, like I'm giving some kudos to that dude. That dude knows ball, and he knows quarterbacks, and he's like, this guy's going 1st round. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 10 because he should. And then boom, Rams
12, 13.
Rams take him at 13.
Yeah,
and I would have thought. So I knew once the Cardinals didn't trade out of that number 3 pick that they were not going to draft Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
I knew that probably wasn't going to happen. I thought maybe a team like the Jets or maybe even the Vikings or some team was going to sneak in there and grab him before the Cardinals. And then I think that it kind of freed it up because I'm kind of curious of what would have happened with if the Cardinals were more interested in him than said, because if they would have traded, would the Rams have traded up? Would they have been like, okay, well, I guess maybe we're not going to try. I don't know.
They wouldn't have taken him at 3. Yeah, they wouldn't have taken him at 3. I think if the Cardinals
but what I'm saying, but the Cardinals move
and then move back. And I brought that up too. I said that I'm like, you're going to see probably a lot of movement at the end of the first round. And my goodness, I see from 23 all the way to like 30. I felt like teams were moving constantly, but definitely a huge surprise. The whole Sean McVay thing kind of got blown out of proportion a little bit. Like he actually talked.
He's not much of a media guy, anyways. So it's
yeah, he talked. I don't know if it was yesterday. I just seen the clip today where he's like, my body language could have been better. Like I was upset about other things that occurred and happened Thursday night. I wasn't upset about the whole Ty Simpson pick. I'm like, okay, all right.
You're upset about the Ty Simpson pick because you are the same coach that won a Super Bowl by going all in.
Yeah.
And if we're going all in here, that 13th pick, I maybe would have got Sadiq. I maybe would have got a wide receiver.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They got a tight end, and Mason wasn't happy they ended up getting a tight end.
But
yeah, like you're saying, any other players
or traded the pick for A.J. Brown.
They didn't have a lot of picks to begin with. Like,
but you know what I mean?
Like, a lot of picks.
You could probably have traded that number 13th pick for a good wide receiver that's already established.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of things up in the air right now. I realize Matthew Stafford's getting older, but the quarterback class next year, they don't.
I understand it. I understand why they did it.
They don't plan on being top 15 next year. You know, they're not going to. It's not going to happen. So I mean, like, if they want to get a quarterback, someone to develop underneath Stafford, like, let this be an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers situation, just like the Packers always do. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but you take a shot. And we're going to find out here.
But I like how Sean McVay's like he's still got to compete with Stetson Bennett.
Exactly. But Stetson Bennett's like 35 already anyway, so.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is. But.
Didn't he have some like mental issues or something going on where he didn't play for a while? Like he first got there and was like stepped away from football for a minute?
It's a great question.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he did because that's when Garoppolo came in and took his spot. I think that he stepped away and had like some like mental problems or some type of something.
And that's something we kind of transition to a little bit. You have a lot of these teams that kind of stay true to their identity, and then other teams that kind of go off the rails a little bit. I feel like the Rams are definitely one of those teams that kind of they didn't have very many picks to begin with, but not necessarily went off the rails, but kind of planning for the future when you didn't necessarily have to. A team, and here where my Broncos stuff, a team that I thought stayed pretty true to their identity is like Sean Payton and George Payton. Whenever they go into a draft, I feel like the very first year we had Sean Payton there, we're taking all these players, and I'm like, what? Like who? Who's this guy? Who's this? What is this guy going to do? Like Riley Moss, Nick Bonito? Like what are we doing? And like they're getting these high character guys that are all about the team. You know, they don't really care about. I mean, they care about themselves and their stats and stuff like that. But they're all about the team. And I feel like just watching the draft now and just knowing like we're not going to take one of these big name guys. Like Sean Payton's going to draft guys that going to be good for the culture of the Broncos. Going to come in and be all about the team, and that's exactly what he did. Getting a lot of high character guys. I don't know if you've seen the clip. Jonah Coleman, the running back we drafted, 5'8", 225 pounds, just stacked dude. But he actually
bowling ball.
He is. The video came out of him walking up to like the podium, or somewhere, some podium. He has like a little piece of paper. He opens it up. He goes, "Hey, with the 62nd pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Jonah Coleman," and he started like freaking out. Now he took him 108, I do believe, instead of 62. But he wanted to be a Bronco. I think he made that known, and now he's a Bronco. So I know a lot of people are upset if you're Broncos fans and you're listening to this. I know a lot of people are upset we didn't take Mike Washington. He had the fumble issues in college. Mike Washington is huge, 6'2", 225 pounds, and it definitely hurts to see him go to the Raiders to back up Ashton Genty. What a crazy 1-2 punch. Reminds me of like Darren McFadden all over again there for the Raiders. But I don't know. Like I said, high character guy in Jonah Coleman. And I feel like the Broncos definitely stuck to their identity. Any teams you got, they kind of stuck to what they usually do. And if
No,
not,
I think you kind of hit that there pretty good. I don't really see any teams in here that didn't go off the rail a little bit. I definitely think that the Cowboys, when Jerry Jones, when he says that they are going to focus on one thing, they focus on it, and they did that and did what they said they were going to do, and their defense is going to be flipped around 100%. And it's like Jerry Jones is kind of you take him with a grain of salt, but that dude speaks everything into existence. So I guess the Cowboys are probably the only other team that I think that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. Like, obviously, it just depends on the draft. Like, I felt like we needed a tight end going into this draft, so I studied literally every single tight end almost in this whole entire draft class. And I'm not like one of those sickos that go through like, I knew some of the late round guys, but to get on here and say like, oh, this team, didn't follow their identity, when in reality, like, I don't follow every team as closely as I follow the Broncos. I'm not going to say here and try to sugarcoat it, but obviously I follow the Broncos, and then I see whatever all these other teams do, and I'm like, oh, cool, neat. But this one's for you, because I know you've been dying to talk about this. The what are they doing pick of the draft. Well, really quick, before you get into the what are they doing, we have a little group chat for our podcast here, and first pick of the draft you guys was Caden Proctor, correct? Casey, what are we doing? Literally, what are we doing? The whole reason I made this little
I'm pretty sure there were some other words in between there.
Included in there for sure. Not only did you say it once, you said it twice, and I liked both your picks. I didn't think there's anything wrong with it. Go back and look at the grading of them, and they graded out really well. But what are your thoughts? I mean, maybe you have another one. Maybe you don't even want to talk about your Dolphins anymore. Maybe you have another what are they doing pick.
No. So my thing is when I saw the first two picks that we took, especially the very first one, sold on Malik Willis. That's exactly what I thought. That is exactly what I thought. We are signing Malik Willis to a super cheap deal in hopes that he is going to pan out in those 2 years, and then boom, he's the guy. So let's get him. Let's start by getting him a good offensive line and work with what we got on the outside, which is nothing. Yeah, and see, I guess, but in my opinion, it's kind of like what you say. You take the best available players.
Yep.
And when you're a bad team like the Dolphins were last year, how in the world do you just trade back one and don't take Caleb Downs? Like, what are you doing? Like, take Caleb Downs and then see if the Cowboys trade even more, want him. And then you give him Caleb Downs, something. Yeah. Something. You take him. Or even Reuben Bain. I would have been fine with either one of them too. But no, you want to... Reuben Bain would have been solid. Yeah. Like, he would have been beloved in Miami. But that I get... Caden Proctor's not a bad pick at all. Don't get me wrong. Like, but the thing that just gets me is that he is not going to change. He is not going to change the team. He's not going. He's going to change the line. He's going to help. But Caleb Downs is going to change the defense. Yeah, he changes it. Reuben Bain could change the defense and change the way that teams scheme. And
what pick did you guys have? You had pick 11
and traded back to 12. So and you knew the Cowboys are going to get him. Yeah, talked about it, and it I don't know.
I mean, it's a big position to need, and I've been in your position. Obviously, being a Broncos fan, like, you have all. When you have all these needs, and I've been in a position where, like, the Broncos go into a draft and they have several needs, and then you're like, oh man, they need to get this guy, and then they take the not flashy pick in, like, an offensive lineman or a defensive end or a defensive tackle, and you're like, what are we doing? Like, this guy's out here, and we decided to get this other guy, and it was really rough when we took Garrett Bowles there in 2017, and then he earned the nickname Garrett Holds because he'd get so many holding calls, and now he's turned into one of the best left tackles in the league. It's just taken him a while. It is frustrating. I definitely know where you're coming from, because all you can do is sit there and just shake your head and pray to God these players pan out.
But the only thing that I can look look for in this is that they're not trying to do it in 1 year. They're saying this is a process. You can't just get better in 1 year. I understand that. Let's fill the holes that we can fill with what we got, and just try to get better with what we can get better with. And they may have thought in their minds that Caden Proctor was going to be a better player than Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
And maybe they thought that he was, and like you said, maybe they thought he was going to be a better fit in Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
and made what? Caden Proctor is probably could be arguably the best offensive lineman in the draft.
There's a lot. I mean, there is so many good linemen.
You could argue it.
I mean, you could argue any of these offensive linemen taken in the first 2 rounds. There were so many offensive linemen. I think 9, like I said, in the first round.
But here's my thing. So if we were going, we went Caden Proctor at 18.
Yeah.
Might as well, or 11. Might as well have went another offensive lineman if that's what we're gonna
build in the trenches,
build in it, and then see what Malik Willis can do. I mean, or what we can. I mean, we got A-Chain too.
Yeah,
you get him a good offensive line. A-Chain's gonna be a freaking beast.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, maybe they're building for that too. Like, oh, we got A-Chain, and he's like talking about maybe getting out of there, and like maybe if we beef the line up and get him freed up and let him rush for 1,300 yards, then he'll get what he wants, and we can pay him a little bit, and then keep him in Miami, which I hope so, because he's probably gonna be the next jersey I get. So if I get, if I get his jersey and he leaves, I'm done buying jerseys. I'm done buying jerseys. I'm just gonna buy cool shirts like this all the time. I'm just gonna buy cool shirts like that all the time. Cool shirt.
I'm just going to. I'm tired of burning jerseys. I really am. No. Before we move on here, though, I just had one team that I'm like, what are they doing? Pick. Like I said, I went through all these tight ends because I didn't know. I wanted the Broncos obviously to pick one of these top end guys. We ended up grabbing a guy, Jolie there, in the later rounds. But the Texans took a guy that I'm like kind of taken aback a little bit. Marlon Klein, like going through all this stuff, like I actually had a big list of tight ends, and he was like in the 180s out of exactly. He's in like the 180s just overall a player as far as like prospect goes. So he's in the 180s. They took him at 59, I think.
See, and that's the thing. Like, how did they have got? I would love to sit in a room, or love to sit with the scouts and the recruiter, like
kind of see how they,
to see, like how do you like, because like Dan Orlovsky talks like you got like the 15 games that Ty Simpson played. Yeah, you know, he only played, but the 15 games that Ty Simpson played, there's 10 of them that have better quality attributes than Mendoza, which is possible. Like, you know, it could be possible.
Yeah.
So it's like I just wish I knew like the ins and outs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's more inline blocking tight end. I don't really. I mean, like I said, he was one of these guys I really didn't pay too much attention to. Like I was like the Eli Stowers, the Oscar Delps, the Max Clares, the Sam Roushes. Like I said, Jolie. I honestly didn't even. I mean, I had Jolie on my list, but he was not one of the big guys. I was kind of or top guys, I would say. I was looking at going into the draft, but. It's gonna come back full circle again. If he's your guy and he's there, take him, I guess. But at that point, I think there only been like 3 tight ends taken. I think Stowers had just went. Maybe it's because there's starting to be a run on tight ends and they didn't think they'd get him. I don't know, but a pick we kind of talked about already, so we can kind of sim over this. If you have another one, and I don't think we do, a pick that changed the flow of the draft. My notes here, I have Ty Simpson. I don't think he necessarily changed the flow of the draft, but he definitely allowed other players, more skilled players, to slide. I mean, one pick. So, it didn't really change the flow of the draft. I don't know if you have anybody that changed the flow.
One that is kind of a surprise, but one that changed the way that I think the draft was going to go is Carnell Tate going to the Titans. Because I don't think that he was he even in mock drafts to go there?
Yeah, so he was. I don't know if he was projected to go there. He's projected to go, I think, where they have him, Commanders, I think. So I mean, I guess he definitely goes earlier. But then again, too, like you didn't hear Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals until like a day before the draft. Like, oh no, this is a real possibility he could go to the Cardinals.
And that's when I went a shot. And then that's when I made that.
Yeah, you're
I picked him to go there.
You actually ended up. No, did you win that? Maybe
I think you did.
I did not win it. No, I did not. I think it was either you or Break, but
I don't think it was me.
Yeah, I don't know. My just gut reaction overall on this draft class is I think that this is a weaker draft class, and I'm just excited to kind of see the players coming out next year. Like, I'm already looking forward to, and everybody's kind of crapping on Arch Manning. I mean, I am excited for the quarterback class next year. I think that overall it's going to be better, but I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. So let's go ahead. And do you have anything else you want to, before we move on to segment two? Segment two here, and I hate doing this, but I feel like everybody does this, so we've got to do it as well, is your winners and losers. So draft winners and losers of the 2026 NFL Draft. Biggest draft winners. I've got 3. Let's see if you have more of the same. So my biggest winners here are the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, and as much as it pains me to say it, the Las Vegas Raiders. I think all 3 of those teams found some serious value. The Browns got McNeil Warren, which you talked about, I think, going in the first round in our mock draft. I think you had McNeil Warren going in the first round. Browns get him in the second. Jets get a steal with D'Angelo Pons. I think on the broadcast they said D'Angelo Pons is basically like an Aaron Glenn clone. So like Aaron Glenn basically just drafted himself. And then the Raiders, we mentioned earlier, got 2 guys. They got Jerrod McCoy in the 4th round and Mike Washington. Hitting value picks like that, that's how you build a strong draft class. And I feel like all those players were really strong value at where they were taken. So that is my 3 winners. And we'll kind of talk about who had the best draft overall, but I want to get your winners first. Maybe they might be more the same.
So my 3 winners, and I think these teams did a phenomenal job, and 2 of them did a phenomenal job for the first time in a long time drafting. And I'm going the Browns, I'm going the Cowboys, and I'm going the Jets.
Yeah, so Browns and Jets, popular choice. Cowboys, they definitely draft. I feel like they're the Caleb Downs is a good pick. I feel like they kind of reached on, was it Malachi Lawrence or something like that? Yeah. They just love their Lawrences, I guess, there in Dallas. But
the reason I picked them is because they touched on every point that they touched on every point. They got a grade. I think I was looking at the grades, and they got an A- on their grades of the draft, like in total. So then they drafted late a wide receiver, Anthony Smith out of East Carolina, which I don't know anything of him, but sometimes they draft them late guys that pan out. Like what's his name that came out of? There's a guy that came out of WIU that got drafted there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
man, that wasn't too bad for him for a minute.
The wide receiver, he was all right. Yeah,
little fast little.
Yeah, I can't.
Dark skin guy.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, but yeah, I knew exactly. I think he was on their practice squad too. I don't think he's played a couple of games, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
those
his
are
name
my
was,
3.
But yeah, best draft overall. Who do you got best draft overall out of those 3 you just talked about?
If I'm picking, the Browns.
The Browns. They had a lot of.
They got Fano, could be arguably one of the best. Tackles. Casey Concepcion, who arguably one of the better receivers, has a little bit of hand issues with drops last year, but not terrible. And then they got sneaky Denzel Boston in the 2nd round, which I really like. And then I had Warren going in the 2nd round. I had Warren going in the 1st round.
Mm-hmm.
The safety going in the 1st round.
McNeil Warren.
And they drafted him late too. Then they got another offensive lineman. I really wasn't a big. I think the kind of the reach and I don't know why they drafted another quarterback. Makes no sense to me, but they drafted a quarterback again.
Yeah, I don't know if they're.
I don't know, but they did 10 times better this year than they did last year, and I think that they're really trying to build around.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like they're trying to build around maybe Shador, but maybe they're thinking.
Maybe
they're thinking Deshaun Watson is gonna explode a little bit. I don't know. But he hadn't played in like 4 years, so
they double up so much. Like last year, they got 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs. This year, they get 2 wide receivers.
They could easily fit in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Slide right into the.
Jerry Jeudy might need to start looking for places to move to because I don't know what the plan is for him because I mean you drafted 2 really good receivers.
Casey Concepcion is very similar.
He could be like a slot guy though. I get it.
Boston. I think
Boston's tall. He's like 6'4". But yeah, I actually have the Jets. I just loved what they did. I realized they had a lot of picks, but you get David Bailey, which I liked him. I mean, people Pick
I had
pick
him
whoever you
going there.
want.
I had
Arvell
him
Reese
going
or
number
David
2.
Bailey. I did too. David Bailey, and then you get Kenyon Sadiq, a great weapon for Geno, whatever. Omar Cooper Jr. talked about him going in the first round as well. 3 first-round draft picks the Jets get. They trade back up. I mean, they're getting these fifth-year options. They're taking care of these players.
And they nailed all 3 picks.
They did. And then
Nailed
D'Angelo Pons. I said D'Angelo Pons as well. Like, really good corner. I think is going to do really well for them. They got the Cade Klubnik. I think they probably could have went, Garrett Nussmeier there if they actually wanted to. And like I said, probably a backup quarterback. I think they're really, really trying to tank for Arch next year. We'll see. But, yeah, I think they got really solid value in the later rounds as well. And I really like the draft they had. So, that's my biggest winner. Let us know in the comments who's your biggest draft winner. Love to hear it. If it's not one of the 3 teams we talked about, I mean, several teams. Obviously, I'm not being biased right now. I feel like the Broncos had a good draft, but these 3 teams I brought up here, I feel kind of knocked out of the park a little bit. But time will tell. Draft losers. And I hate doing this because I don't necessarily think there's ever really a loser, because 2 years from now, 3 years from now, the ones we could say is a loser might be, one of the best draft classes. For sure. They might have had one of the best draft classes. So, I mean, I don't know. If you had to pick one loser, who stands out to you? One team.
Just one?
Yeah, just one team. One team that really kind of stands out.
Oh, man. I got 2 that I'm really...
Or you can say both. That's fine.
It's a toss-up for me between...
the same ones.
Jaguars.
Mine's the Jaguars.
And the 49ers.
Okay. So
that's my toss-up.
So really quick, did you see the reporter that basically asked John Lynch, why do you suck at drafting? It was embarrassing but hilarious. He basically is like, yeah, that you kind of reach for a lot of these players, and John Lynch just kind of looked at him. But no, I had the Jaguars as well. They lost Devin Lloyd and Travis Etienne,
and then trade
and
out.
I feel like they didn't. I mean, they didn't have a first round draft pick because of the whole Travis Hunter thing. So when did they even pick? Their first pick was in the second round, I think.
Yeah, it was a tackle.
Yeah,
I just had it.
No, it wasn't. It was a tight end.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
What pick was that? Was it? Here it is. Yeah, their first pick here was Nate
No, their first pick.
Borkircher. It was Nate
No.
Borkircher. Yes, it was. Round 2, pick 56.
No, they're. What are you talking about?
You're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the 49ers. My bad.
Oh, no, sorry. Well, that would be why we're confused. No, so they picked basically a blocking tight end, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because they have Brenton Strange, and this tight end they drafted is 25 years old already. So it's just like, unless they're doing three tight end sets, which is a very real possibility, but they didn't do hardly anything to address the loss of Devin Lloyd. I think they drafted a linebacker with their final pick in the draft.
Yeah.
It's not that they lost the draft or they're the biggest loser. It was just a lot of head-scratching decisions. I'm like, what? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But
what do we do?
they made the splash last year. They got Travis Hunter. I feel like they had a good draft last year. Maybe they're like, we had too good of a draft last year. Let's kind of, let's ease back. Let's give these other teams a chance to pick some good players. I don't know.
They didn't have very many good picks at all. So I mean, didn't have any real good position to draft anything great. But
let's see. And I can get on CBS Sports here really quick and see. Yeah, so really quick, and then who is it, the guy that does it this year? It was Mike Renner. It was Pete Prisco previously that does all these on CBS Sports, kind of gives a grade for every single pick. Grades were C, C, A, C plus, C, B plus, B, C, B, C. So really not a lot of bad grades, but pretty average draft, I would say.
you could say the Vikings had a terrible draft too.
Yeah, I also seen the Vikings, just some of their picks, head scratch. And like I said, I'm not going to say it's a bad, they're losers. They had a terrible draft. It's just some head scratching decisions that teams make when they have these needs and they don't address the needs that they have. But, yeah, I don't know. Those are our winners and losers. Let us know though what you guys think as far as these players go. That's going to wrap up, I think, segment 2. We've got one more segment to go. But first, a quick word from Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. All right, time to talk about a game changer for snack time, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. These aren't your average dry, dusty seeds. Nope, Smackin' takes flavor to the next level. Bigger, bolder, and straight up addicting. Whether you're chilling at the ball field, gaming with friends, or just need something to keep your hands busy, Smackin' has you covered. And the best part? No soggy seeds, no weak flavors, just pure Smackin' goodness in every handful. So if you're ready to upgrade your seed game, grab a bag of Smackin' Sunflower Seeds today and get ready to start smacking. Scan our QR code or click the link in our description to get 10% off your first order. All right, we are back. Segment 3 here. Future headlines. What about this? Are you ready? We've got 8 of these to go here, and these are all future headlines. And I've actually got a few here too, so we can both kind of answer these to see what direction we're going in these. Let me get my notes pulled up because I had all this stuff written down. This draft class will be remembered for this.
Positional players.
Really? I think this draft class is going to be remembered for offensive linemen. The amount of offensive linemen that was taken, I think they had 9 taken in the first round, but just,
True.
I mean, I think it was a very strong, I think it was a strong offensive line class.
And they talked
just
like,
some big dudes.
Yeah,
like,
and when they talked too, they said like when the floodgates open, it's gonna just go.
And I don't even know. I'm not going to look it up. I don't know how many offensive linemen have been taken before in a first round. I feel like 9 is pretty high. But yeah, I think this class, the whole entire class in general, probably remembered for these linemen. I mean, you had, what was it? I always say his name backwards. It's Jennings or Dunker Jennings? Is that Jennings Dunker? See, it's Jennings Dunker. I always say his name backwards. Jennings Dunker, the the Iowa guy who went to Lena Winslow.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the Steelers. I think he's gonna be a really good guard. He'll probably, like, he played tackle in college. He'll probably kick into a guard, and that's what too. I think there's a lot of really good
1A.
Yeah, 1A. Yep, from 2.5 hours away.
By the way, that's a small school.
Yeah, just
like small school. Like I don't even know how many kids are.
But they produce really good football teams though.
Yeah.
It's small school, but majority of the kids play football there. But yeah, a lot of good swing tackles. I don't know, really. We'll see. Time will tell on these. But next one here, this quarterback will be the only successful one from this class.
If I'm being honest,
I mean, is it
Mendoza?
Is it Mendoza? Yeah, I mean,
Ty Simpson could, but
we could say here and try to be cute about it.
Right here, right now, Mendoza is.
Yeah. No, I'd
be an idiot if I didn't say anything else.
We could sit here and try to like pull some random quarterback out, but when there's only 2 that go in the first round, I mean, this is kind of like I don't know how many years ago it was when it was just what's his face that went to the Steelers. Can't think of his name now because it's been so long.
Kenny
Pickett. Yeah. No, I think Fernando will do fine. I think he'll be successful. I don't know if he'll be. I don't know. I think like Kirk Cousins.
I think it's going to take a couple years.
I think it will too, especially for no offense.
He's not going to do anything flat. He's not going to do anything flashy. Yeah. He's going to be a smart football player.
Yeah, I agree. Next one here. This day 2 wide receiver becomes a top 10 wide receiver within the next 3 years. I'll go ahead and say it for you because I can see it on your face. Chris Bell. Are you going to say Chris Bell? Not going to say Chris Bell. Okay, so I'm going to say Chris Bell, and you don't have to. And this is what the pick. This is the pick you got from us. Yeah, day 2 wide receiver. You guys got him with pick 94, and he's like 6'4". He's like 6'4", right? Yes. Let me get this pulled up. No, sorry, 6'2", 220 pounds.
They said that They said that he is like. They said he's a mix. They think he's a mix of like a Jalen Waddle, AJ Brown, like size wise with AJ Brown, but like Jalen Waddle-esque.
Yeah, speed.
Movement.
And here's the reason why. And we talked about these players falling. I think Chris Bell probably would have been a fringe first-round wide receiver had he not tore his ACL. Because, I mean, obviously right now, I mean, I don't know if he's available for the beginning of the season. I think he tore – I don't know when he tore his ACL, but, obviously fell. And I think now he could possibly, if, everything kind of pans out, you got to think too, like quarterback wise, I think if things pan out the next 3 years, I think he definitely could. Because, Dolphins have all this capital. They're getting a lot of players. So I think he could definitely be in the mix to be a top 10 wide receiver within the next 3 years. Because, he's going to be the main target, I think, this year because you guys really don't have a whole lot else there. Did you have one? Did you have a wide receiver? I'm a huge fan of that big old tall dude from the Giants picked up too from Notre Dame. Oh, it's like 6'5". I just love tall wide receivers.
Oh man, the only one that's popping into my head is Denzel Boston.
Yeah, Denzel Boston going to the Browns there. Yeah, another tall receiver, 6'4".
But there's only 2 wide receivers taken in the second round.
Day 2, so rounds 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
Day 2, yeah. But, yeah, what was this? Golly, that's going to drive me nuts. I can't think of the guy's name that was taken by the Giants. I think it was like Malachi Fields or something.
Malachi Fields, yeah.
Wow, it was Malachi Fields, yep.
Out of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
They also took Caleb Douglas, too, who's... I like that. I like that pick, too.
Yeah. Yeah, Malachi Fields, I think, has the potential to be really good, especially playing there if Jackson Dart continues to be the quarterback that everybody thinks he is, and then Malik Neighbors takes much... he's going to get some looks over there. Have a lot of people have probably safety shading over him, open up Malachi Fields a little bit. So we'll see. Obviously, with this 3-year span here, but this player will be the biggest bust of this draft. I've already said his name once. I'm going to say it again. Caleb Downs, foot injury. Can't stay on the field. The best ability is availability. If you're not available, I'm just going to leave it there. I don't know. I really hope he pans out for the Vikings.
Caleb Banks.
Caleb Banks, yep. Did I say Downs again?
I think so.
I will get through this. Yeah. Caleb Banks. Battlestar Galactica. Okay. Yeah, Caleb Banks, I think is the...
You know who I'm going to go with?
Who are you going to go with?
You ready?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be first round. I just put...
No, I'm saying first round.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
You ready?
Yeah.
Peter Woods.
Peter Woods. See, we talked, and it's another defensive tackle. I think Peter Woods... I think he's good, but time will tell on him. I didn't know if there's I said it in our draft pod when we actually did it. I didn't know if there'd be a single defensive tackle taken, and there were 2 or 3, but
there
taken
were
in the first round. I think there's 2. I think there's
2. Yeah, Caleb Banks got quick.
Caleb Banks, and then
Downs.
Peter Woods.
Peter Woods, yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't do a whole lot of research, so I'm probably gonna get shade thrown at me and stuff. But it's like he could have went second round easy. Like he wasn't a like bona fide first round guy.
No, for sure.
And so, these guys, especially these guys in the first round, they get so much hype on them, and some of them rise to the occasion, some of them don't. And especially the guys that you pick in the first round that you didn't think they were going to go in the first round, them guys get more spotlight than the guys that like a Caleb Downs.
That is true.
So they get more leeway than someone like, let's say, Banks,
Fernando,
who's been hurt. Let's say Banks got hurt, has been hurt. And they're gonna be like, well, you picked him 18, like he must, they must see that he's going to be a stud, like an absolute stud.
And if he's healthy, he will be.
But now say he goes in here and just crap shoots it up.
Yeah.
For his first year, they're going to be like, well, he's is a waste. So
yeah,
it's just different with different people.
Yeah.
That's why I picked Peter. That's why I picked Peter Woods.
Yeah, and like I said, we talked about it earlier too. Like, just I don't know. I didn't think it was very strong defensive tackle class anyway, but here we are. Speaking of defensive players, this defensive player will completely change a franchise. And you talked about it earlier, Caleb Downs. I think
I really also think Sonny Styles will.
Yeah, because he went to did he go to the Commanders?
Yeah, Commanders.
Commanders, yeah. Just a sideline to sideline.
And you got even Arvil Reese too.
Yeah.
I mean those two linebackers, I love me a good linebacker that runs a defense. Like I love a Fred Warner. I love these big dudes that just they're so smart and just playing the league for so long. Yeah, right. Yeah, I just love that. So I think that's why I think gravitates me to the linebacker side.
Yeah, I want to say safety I mean, looking at the Cowboys' needs and what they needed secondary help, and I think he goes in there and makes an instant impact. Like I said, probably the best football player in this whole entire draft.
Gosh, dude, quit talking. Sorry, can we just go?
We'll move on. Yeah, but Caleb Downs.
I said it too. Before we go on, I said it too. I said if we draft Caleb Downs, I am buying a jersey.
You did say that
ASAP, and it didn't happen. I was ready to just go all in on it.
Yeah, this next one, I think there might be a couple, but we'll say this one here. This running back has a better first year than Jeremiah Love. I think the easy answer is Jadarian Price because Zach Charbonnet might not be back yet. I'm going to say Katron Allen, the Penn State running back. Just an incredible body of work, but I think scouts didn't really like his lack of explosiveness and whatnot coming from him. But I actually have the stat here. He broke Saquon Barkley's all-time career rushing record last year. So he had 4,180 yards. There's a lot of tread on the tires with this guy as well. But yeah, you're someone that's breaking one of the best running backs in the league's records when you're in college. You've got that body of work to show for it. You go in the 6th round to the Commanders, a running back needy team, and I have nothing against Krosky Merritt. I think he's a good running back, but I definitely think that this 6th, I mean, you see it all the time from running backs coming in, doesn't matter, undrafted, 6th round, 5th round, coming in and making a huge impact. I definitely think that he has a legit chance to have a better first year than Jeremiah Love, because right now Jeremiah Love doesn't have a lot of help there on that offensive line in Arizona. So that's kind of like
it's kind of like an Ashton Genty's situation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Year.
Yep.
So I really liked this player when I watched more of college football this year because of the way we shifted the podcast and just getting even more into football than I was. I really liked Indiana's running back, Kalen Black.
Okay,
that got drafted, but I don't like where he got drafted. I wish that he would have got, like, it kind of upset me a little bit. Like, I was kind of hoping maybe with that pick right before that he was going to go, or a couple picks before, that maybe he was going to go to the Jaguars there at 88.
Mm-hmm. That would have been huge.
But I don't like him going. The only reason I can say that maybe he has a better year than Jeremiah Love is because CMC gets hurt, which is possible.
It is possible, yeah.
But because when he got hurt, who was his backup?
Brian Robinson, right? They brought up Brian Robinson,
and he didn't do bad, but like, I don't know. I love how he just forces his way into it, and I love, like I said, like I was really a big fan of, like, when the Packers had Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. I loved when AJ Dillon would go in there and just beef it up and just power through, and that's what Kalen Black is. So Kalen Black may end up being that guy that CMC may be that wide open guy where they use is more like a hybrid now.
Yeah, a gadget,
and then give Kalen Black that
goal line type.
That goal line, not necessarily the goal line, but like, we're going to muddy it up. When we want to muddy it up a little bit, we're going to throw him in there.
Yeah,
and maybe even throw like a dual set, like an I formation type deal, and have CMC just kind of run an out route and kind of throw Black into like the fullback position a little bit. I don't know, but no, because they got, what's his name?
Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that guy's a beast. Never mind.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, he's a little older though. Kyle Juszczyk's getting up there in age. But
I liked him as a running back.
And like I said, the easy answer is Jadarian Price. It really is. But I wanted to think kind of outside the box a little bit. This one's a tough one. This day 3 pick becomes a Pro Bowler. It doesn't say when. I don't know. There's no timeline on when, but this day 3 pick becomes a Pro Bowler. I've got 2. My first one is give me Jermod McCoy. I think, if he stays healthy, the knee injury is nothing to be concerned about. He goes out there, he is a top corner in the NFL, top 15 corner in the NFL. maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But I think he could definitely be a Pro Bowler. And then, gosh darn it, I just had the guy's name in my mind. It's the linebacker from LSU. Is it Perkins? I think it's Perkins. He's my other guy that I think could definitely be LSU linebacker Harold Perkins Jr. Yep, he went to the Falcons. Yep, Falcons at 215, which is crazy. Yeah, so give me those two guys.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna be a homer here.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna be a homer, and I'm going Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis. Okay.
Out of Pitt.
Okay.
They have some dirty dogs over in Pitt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go Kyle Lewis. I think that was kind of we went edge right before, and then we went linebacker, not too far down. And if we're gonna really try to focus on defense here, maybe if he pops off a little bit and gets a starting spot, I think there's potential for a Pro Bowl there, especially if he does what he did at Pitt.
And you see the teams that have all these needs, that had all these picks, looking at the Jets, these day 3 picks are going to get a huge opportunity. They're not just depth guys. These guys are coming in and competing for a starting spot because the lack of depth that is already on the team. So I could very well see that.
Yeah.
Last one here. This first-round pick will be out of the league within 3 years, and I wrote his name this time in all capital letters, Banks, Caleb Banks, because if his feet, people are just saying I hate Caleb Banks. I really don't. If he continues to have the foot issues that he's been having, he's not gonna be able to play. I mean, he's like 300 and some pounds, 6'6", 300 and I want to say high threes, mid threes. I want to say 330, but it's a lot of weight pushing down on some ankles and feet. So
here's the name I don't want to say, and I really hope he has a great career. Really do hope and I hope Josh doesn't hate me for this.
6'6", 331. Go ahead.
And I really hope Josh doesn't hate me for this. Jordan Tyson.
It's tough, dude.
With his injury prone.
Injury history, yeah. But like I said, when healthy, probably one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the draft.
What makes me think of that is who was the wide receiver for the Bears that was so freaking good and kept getting hurt and could never stay healthy for a full year.
Kevin White.
Yes, because he was a freaking beast. And
he was good.
He kept getting hurt, and I hope it don't happen.
Amari Cooper draft. That was the same. Amari Cooper went to the Raiders, and
really
he went to the
hope
Bears,
that don't happen. But with his injuries and what's happened, it's possible.
It's always like a lot of these players, like, which is crazy to me because you see the injury. You almost wonder if there's something else that's not being said because you look at Caleb Banks, you look at Jordan Tyson, both injury prone. I don't like using that word, but injury history taken in the first round. And then Jermod McCoy projected
maybe it's a certain injury.
Corner.
Maybe it's a certain injury that they target. That
I
they're
still
like,
think there's probably some other things behind the scenes. But I don't know.
I hope it don't happen. But yeah, I'm going to go with a different guy just because I don't want to. Just kind of want to play devil's advocate a little bit. So
that is fair.
Jordan Tyson there.
Yeah. That's going to wrap it up, though, for the podcast this evening. Well, it's going to be day when everybody else is watching this. But let us know your thoughts on this draft. Do you think it was a strong class? Do you think it was a weak class? Your favorite pick, your least favorite pick? And then, obviously, the futures headlines there. Kind of chime in on those if you want to as well. But, thank you guys for watching. Now we've just got to wait 5 months for the season. Was it 4 or 5 months for the season to start? Off-season training, though, for these teams starting up. I'm just excited to see all these players in action come August. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.